Ready, set.
Aloha, everybody! How's it going, Offline Sharks? we gotta get Nick awake because him and I have been up since about 3 this morning with only a couple hours sleep. Right?
It's been
Like
tough.
sometimes I think that's like what we should video sometimes. So just like we should have somebody follow us around when it's like when we're trying to get ready for a launch and stuff, because it's like, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff. I think people would be amazed to see how much stuff goes into it. Aloha, David. Aloha, Dorn. Aloha, Megan. Gabriel said you guys killed me with the launch.
What does that mean?
Hey, aloha, Lee.
Hey, just so Gabriel, I mean, that tool, that software that you just bought is a real awesome piece of software. I mean,
out of the way, but
I know Tom feels this way because we've talked about this a lot. I mean, we've been using this thing behind the scenes for the last couple of months now, and just being able to bring it to the Sharks, especially at the price point. I mean, obviously the price point is crazy, but like I'm so happy because you guys are going to be able to level up your prospecting. Dorn, have you already looked at that tool? Tell me what you think. Honestly, Dorn.
He said he loves it.
See the email finding abilities of that I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna share more about what goes into that.
The beans. Hey, I did see somebody asking. It does work outside of the U.S. Yes, and like by the way, like that software, like that is not I say this like it's unique. Like it we partnered with David Sprague on that, and the way he was able to put that together so fast for us for what we needed, because we needed it for our agencies, right? And he used some underlying technology that he has, but that particular software does things that none of his other software does. Like it's unique. So it uses some of the underlying technology. That's how we were able to, he was able to get it to us so fast, and we were able to start implementing and testing, and yeah. But it's really great.
Hey, I don't know if anybody knows this, but you guys know that Tom and I both have an Instagram.
I have an Instagram?
Yeah.
I don't even know I have an Instagram, Nick.
I regularly am posting stories and stuff. If you guys want to find me, my name is Nick Ponte. I'm easy to find. Tom Gaddis, he's easy to find too. But
yeah. Gosh, my throat.
You should oh man, Frank the Tank is in the house. That's amazing.
What's up, Frank?
Guy cracks me up. What's up, Frank?
I like the
Frank,
is that what's that? What is that? What's this picture there? I thought that was the Avatar at first. My daughter loves watching the Avatar. His eyes glow like that when he goes into the Avatar state. Where's I haven't seen Bill Marks. I bought this shirt yesterday specifically for Bill Marks, because I was like, oh, that's great. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's an odd looking shirt. I was like, I'm gonna get it. It's like a big glass of tea with the ocean.
Look, that's me. This is me in the middle. That's Tom. That's Tom. Tom Superman.
Well,
there's Cameron. That totally looks like Cameron, the guy in the suit.
It does.
Who is that? I think that's Maverick.
Is it? Yeah, awesome.
Oh,
hey, well,
I get it. The T.
Before we before we get started, I do have to do this because I'm sure that my daughters watch every live that I put on.
Sure.
They're video junkies. So I do have to give them a shout out and tell them thank you for all the great Father's Day stuff. They got me this, my oldest daughter, Paige, got me this awesome hat. I'm officially, I turned 47 on Tuesday, and now I'm officially hitting middle age, right? Crazy. But yeah, no, thanks to my daughters. I had a great Father's Day because of them and a lot of fun. Let's see. Has Nick had his nap? No, Nick has not had a nap. Oh, I think your connection went away. Are you back, Nick? I think he's having some audio issues. But no, he hasn't had a nap yet. So he was actually up before 4:30. So he was in the office at 4 a.m. We have to get up and get things going at like around 3 a.m. Hawaii time whenever we do a launch, because it all starts at like 11 a.m. Eastern. And so usually that means like the few days before and all during the launch, we get very little sleep. It's like 30 minutes here, 45 minutes there, an hour here, hour there.
It's rough.
Yeah.
I actually woke up.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah.
I actually woke up this morning and I realized I was.
Your connection keeps going out, Nick. You don't have a very good connection there. Oh, I think he's gonna leave and come back. Yeah, it looks like it. I think that's just this connection. So we'll wait for him to get back on. So let me do this. Let's see, Patty. Let me look at one of these. Patty said, podcast question. I love your pot. She says, I have an old person's question. Hold on. I'm reading Patty's question while we're killing time till you get back.
Am I good now? Am I good?
Yeah, you're good now. I can hear you and see and everything. It's funny. Your like screen started freezing right when I put that hat on. And so you look like you were just speechless over seeing me in that hat. It was pretty funny. Yeah.
I told my assistant to call Spectrum and tell them if they don't fix whatever's been happening, we're gone. We're leaving. We're starting our own internet company.
That's crazy. Anyway, Patty says, I have an old person's question. I loved your podcast today while I was washing floors. Is there an easy way to access podcasts so I can listen to them easily without having to go searching? There must be an app. Yeah, Patty, there are actually a few different apps. So first, if you guys haven't subscribed to my podcast, What's the Secret? You should. You can find it on Apple, Spotify, all the other podcast players. You can also find it at tomgaddis.com. All the info there on it. But yeah, Patty, there's, Apple has its own podcast app that comes preloaded if you have an iPhone. But you can also use apps like Spotify. Spotify's one that's free. You can listen to podcasts there. What are some other ones, Nick?
I like Overwatch.
Overwatch. That's another one. Yep. Overwatch. Yep. And you can search, you just have to search for What's the Secret with the question mark. And then if you can't find it, let me know, Patty, and I can send you an Overwatch link. I'm pretty sure I have an Overwatch link.
Yeah, I was reminded this morning when I woke up at whatever time that was, that, man, it sucks having to wake up early, especially for somebody else. Right. Like for me, it was fine. Like we're waking up, it's for the launch. It's for our business. It's great. But I woke up and I wasn't hungover, but I certainly felt hungover just waking up that early. And it just reminded me of like how shitty that feels. So, yeah. Anyway,
I don't know. I got up, took a shower. That always makes me feel better when I have to get up early, brush my teeth right away. Then I take a shower right away.
Mm-hmm.
And I, do that kind of stuff. Drink a big glass of water, helps get all the stuff flowing,
Are you one of those guys that puts the like the pinch of salt and a little lime, the little Himalayan salt sprinkle in your water when you wake up in the morning?
I do not. I drink one of those. I drink a carbonated water. So, like I'll have one of the Waterloos, like either the grape or the black cherry, or I like the bubblies. I like the bubbly ones. Just so whatever carbonated water I have, I always put like one or two of those. I take them out of the fridge in the garage and put them in the fridge in the house so that when I first get up, I can just grab it and drink it. Gets me going.
I'm a big carbonated water fan myself.
Yeah. So I saw somebody was asking about the software. So Trevor, so if you just log into your Digital Profit Machine members area and you go to the section on the software, the very first video is installation and access. So you can find it all right there. We'll talk about that a little bit towards the end. So somebody said, "Why are you selling your secrets?"
It's funny.
Oh, go ahead, Nick.
No.
No, I was going to say, like, we really weren't planning on doing a launch or anything around this time, but, like Nick said in the beginning, I've been using that software in the agency and that system, and like it's been getting traction. And, we shared it with a few people and they were getting traction with it too. And, if all of this pandemic stuff wasn't going on, we probably just would have set on it, build up a lot more social proof, and then, put it out for, as a high ticket thing, probably $500 or more, because that software is not inexpensive to run and put together and all that stuff, So, but we didn't want to do that because, we say this all the time on the lives, but we really feel like as digital marketing people and as local agency owners, that it's our responsibility to help businesses in our area and help them get up and running, to help get the economy going. And so, we reached out to David and we were like, man, we have a crazy idea. What if we just, sell this really super inexpensive so we can get it in as many people's hands as possible so they can help as many businesses as possible. And that's really how the launch kind of came about.
Are we planning on doing our normal programming, or do you want me to go through some of the stuff that I have?
Well, why don't we let's do the shout outs. Let's do some shout outs and I'll just do a quick, let's do the shout outs. We'll do the member of the week. I'll do the reading. We can do all this pretty quick, and then we'll just let you spend some time talking about the software and what's going on with that, because I know people want to know about it. So
yeah,
let me share my screen and we'll do some shark shout outs here.
Let's do that. Okay. And
cool.
Also, so maybe we should do a couple giveaways. You guys, who wants to win some Cash App money?
Yeah, do some giveaways.
Who wants to win some Cash App money? Put a one in the chat.
Whenever we say the Cash App, we need like a graphic of like money spewing all over the screen or something, or maybe a little video of us with like money guns, like it's Cash App time. We need to pick up our production values. I guess that's what I'm saying, Nick.
We're working on it, team. We're working on it.
Look at that nice wall behind Nick. He just had that installed.
Yeah, I just had a team of masons come here, and they created this wall brick by brick, sort of like how I created my business, piece by piece.
Yeah. Awesome. So look, let's do our first shout out. So our first shout out goes to our boy Dorn. Dorn said, we're signing a new client today for new service managed LinkedIn services. When he pays $2,000 upfront fee, will officially be beyond the $100,000 for the last calendar year. That is awesome, Dorn. He's heading for the Megalodon level. And for those of you that don't know, in our monthly mentorship program, we have a thing called the Path to Six Figures inside the Shark Alliance. And you go through these different levels, right? And it's basically a step-by-step process. So Megalodon is like the highest level. And yeah, man, Dorn's really been crushing it and working hard to get there. So way to go, Dorn. Really awesome.
I mean, what that means though, I don't think you stressed it hard enough, Tom. I mean, that means when you come into that membership, it takes you literally step by step, 0 to 6 figures. Dorn had a couple things going, so he did it in under a year. So he had a couple of clients already, or he had some clients that he used to work with and then kind of brought them back into the fold when he came back to doing what he's doing. But I mean, if you're the type of person that you need to be told what to do step by step and just have the exact blueprint what to do, then that's what that is. So
Yeah,
but we won't talk too much about that today.
yeah. But yeah, way to go, Dorn, man. It's really awesome to see you having this. I mean, you're like, here's the thing I know about when I see people that are having success and are hitting milestones like that, is that they're working really hard in the background, right? They're working really hard in the background. And so, Dorn, like, just good work, right? Like, a lot of times people see when you're having success and they don't ever think about like all the stuff you're putting in behind the scenes to make that happen. So we appreciate that. We understand that. So awesome.
Yep.
So Dorn, that was our first shark shout out. Our second shout out goes to Dorn again. New client bagged and tagged. I love being a turtle and 3 more in the wings. So awesome, Dorn.
That's so funny. When I was a kid, like I've said this before, I think when I grew up, my first memory of like what I wanted to be when I grew up was a Ninja Turtle. Like that was what I wanted to be.
Which one? Michelangelo, Donatello, Leonardo?
The blue one. Yeah, the blue one with the sword.
I don't know the colors of them.
I think that's Donatello.
Donatello? Okay.
Yeah.
John,
I see your question about Lead Kahuna. I'm going to get to that in a little bit, so stick around. I'm gonna show you and share exactly what the difference between the two is, and you want to see it because the one that you're going to be able to get today has never been released before. So
yeah, it actually does things Lead Kahuna doesn't, and so yeah, you'll love that. So all right, and then our last shark shout out goes to Claudia. Claudia says, "Hola, sharks! I sold my first listing. It's official. I got my first payment today, but I have a question. I added a video for the premium listing, and it just shows the embed link. I want to just play the video. What am I missing? It is from Wistia. Any help?" So, Claudia, hopefully that issue got remedied for you, and the video is now working. But congratulations on selling your first listing. That's really awesome. Way to go. Super. I mean, it's so awesome to see people like implementing, taking action, and getting results, right? That's what it's about. Okay, so those are our shark shout outs. Oh my gosh, Nick, Mike Long is blowing up my phone right now.
Mikey, relax.
It's just like ding, 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 text. I love you, Mike. I'll respond when this live is over. Cool. All right, and so let's do our member of the week. Our member of the week. Nick, do you know who our member of the week is?
I mean, it'd be kind of hard to believe if it isn't Dorn because of all the stuff he's doing. But I mean, we've had some serious action takers in there lately. So, and he's been member of the week before.
It's not Dorn. Do you see who it is on the list on the show notes? I'll let you announce.
No, I'm not looking at the show notes. Is it
okay,
me?
No, it's not you.
I never get member of the week, which isn't really fair.
You never get member of the week. Our member of the week is John. Ready for this? It's John. Oh, John Tellaz. Let me pull up his post here. So,
awesome, John.
Oh, it's not letting me do it. Where's it at?
I love when one thing, people that are just tuning in to our group, actually, if you could put a 2 in the comments, if you guys this is your first time tuning into our Facebook Live, our marketing jam session. Just curious. I mean, we regularly have a pretty big squad with us, but I'm curious as to if, obviously we have a launch going on, if there are any new members with us. And one thing I wanted to say is that if you are new and you haven't been here before, what you'll see is a regular group of people who are taking action, right? What sets us apart from other people out there is what we're doing, Tom and I and the rest of the Offline Sharks family. It's all real world stuff, right? We're actually getting clients. We have clients. We're reactivating clients right now with everything going on in the world. We're getting new clients. We're using new strategies, and that's what we share with our community, stuff that works, not stuff that is good for sounding or not good sounding to sell online that we have not done, just real world stuff. And in fact, I'm going to share with you in a little bit here that we haven't even talked about, how we use this tool just yesterday to close a $250 one-time or annual customer. So talk more about that in a second.
And John, as member of the week, which by the way, we give out for contributing, like just being super involved in the Facebook group, bring a lot of value, you get a special prize. So John, if you're on here, and even if you're not, someone from our team is going to reach out to you to get your information so we can get that special prize all set up for you. So congratulations, John.
Yeah, congrats, John. Great to have you with us too. And also Paul and Willie and Yannick and Robin and Scott, all new, fresh to the Shark family. Sten, Patricia, Rebecca, welcome. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, I think you guys are going to really like it here. I think this is one of the best groups of people out there, especially for this digital agency stuff, right? Like we have such smart people in the group.
I think it is. Actually, I know it is. I don't think it. I know it is.
Well, we always sound like we're biased or bragging when we do that. So awesome.
But eventually you just got to kind of own up to it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So a couple things. Let me do the what we're reading. So every week on the show too, we also have a book that one of us reading that we usually talk about. You can find all of them on our website. If you go to offlinesharks.com/books, you'll see all the books that we recommend. And this week I have a book by Marcus Sheridan, and it's called They Ask, You Answer, and a revolutionary approach to inbound sales, content marketing, and today's digital consumer. Now, the reason why I picked this book to bring to the Sharks is because Marcus Sheridan, the guy who wrote this book, he owned or still owns a pool company, like swimming pools. And he, used his marketing skills to grow this pool company super big, right? And he used content marketing specifically and the strategy that he calls They Ask, You Answer. And what I think is interesting about this is I don't know that you're going to, all the people in this group and that are watching this live, you're digital marketers, you kind of know that deal. I don't know that you're going to, you might get some ideas and some good reminders of like some of the strategies he's using in here. But what I think is really interesting is it's interesting to see how a real local business owner thinks about marketing and implements these things, right? And if you're somebody that's targeting people in the pool service industry or the pool niche, you should definitely read this because he gives specifics about that as well. So he shows you how you can apply it to any business, but this is really a book to show brick and mortar local businesses how to apply digital marketing to get better results. And so I think it just gives you a lot of good insight and ammo about how to approach local businesses about this kind of stuff, the types of things you can do to get results and all that stuff. So They Ask, You Answer. I think you guys will love it. It's by Marcus Sheridan.
Sounds like a great book. A lot of insight there.
Yeah. And there is good stuff in there. Like you are going to get some ideas and learn some things about marketing and the way to do things. And like one of the things that I thought was really great about what he talked about in the book is,
wow, look at what Shan said.
Oh, I wondered, Shan, I was thinking of you the whole time I was reading that book because I was like, I wonder if Shan like knows of this guy or what it is. That's awesome. Yeah, well, he talks in the book about how most pool companies were like, the number one thing you get when somebody calls is they want to know how much it's going to be, right? But you don't want to tell them the price, and there's all this stuff because the price is really, it depends. And so, he actually put a article on his website that was like, what does a pool cost? And he goes through all the different variables. And it turns out like he was the only pool company that did that. So it ranked really high in Google, right? And it like got a lot of traction and it answered that. People stopped asking that question when they were calling in because they had read the article, right? And at the end of the article, it was still basically, it depends, right? Because it was like, it depends on what you do here and there. So I thought that was a pretty good insight and some
Hmm. Very interesting. Look, dude, look at this. This is Terry. Thank you for speaking up, Terry. First week live with his influencer site, already signed up 6 new featured businesses. Pff, phenomenal. Phenomenal. And Terry, we are you know, I actually had a Facebook post that I didn't publish yet. It's scheduled to go out where I talk about how to use what we're doing with Digital Profit Machine in conjunction with Agency Growth Machine. So I'll talk about that in a little bit here once we get through the programming as well. But congratulations, that's awesome to have 6 new businesses on your site. Phenomenal.
Yeah. Hey, Shan, man, I'd love to have Marcus on the podcast. If you can make an intro for me and help set that up, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. What's next on our list here?
Okay, so well, that was it. We wanted to do the shark shoutouts. We got what we're reading, and I know you wanted to talk a little bit about, and we had a lot of. I know we were going to have a lot of questions about Digital Profit Machine, what's inside with the software, all that kind of stuff. So why don't you talk a little bit about that, Nick, and then we can do some Q&A after that.
So just to be completely transparent, I did not plan to do this. Like, I did not plan to have a little some slides to go with this. I'm actually using some slides that I set up for a friend earlier today that's promoting Digital Profit Machine. If my browser will even load. Am I still getting glitchy, Tom? Can you see me just fine?
No, I can still see you okay.
My audio's coming in good. I think Beautiful AI might be giving me the standard issue. Actually, hey, let's just while I'm loading this, you guys, real quick, put a 1 in the chat if you have picked up Digital Profit Machine. I want to see how many people on this call are actually going to, like, if you know what I'm talking about, if you jumped in, or you're curious, you're on the fence. You can put a 2 if you're on the fence, put a 1 if you're already in. Let's get a good show of hands by where everybody's at. We've got over 160 people on this call with us right now. So, okay, I see Kristen and Randy and Andre 1, Barb 1. Tom, I'm going. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Okay, so some people, we got some 2s. Manu, Scott, Mike. A couple people haven't seen it. Fair enough. Willie just bought an hour ago. Nils too. So, what do you say, Tom? What do you think? Is that a mix bag we got here? Half and half, pretty much.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, close to that.
Look at that picture. That's me and my dog Kevin. So, what?
Kevin, he just cracks me up.
Oh. Okay, so let me pull up my notes here. That's loading. I see we do Pete, yes. Pete, there are some OTOs. Actually, if you guys will help me out, the first person to put, what the first OTO is in the chat correctly. Actually, that's probably not a very good question.
No, that's not a very good question.
No, that's not a very, very good question.
What do you say? Can somebody tell us who we partnered with on this launch? The first person.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Who we partnered with on this launch? Stick it in the chat, and we got some Cash App money coming your way.
Yep, we didn't do a very good job teeing that little bonus there up.
No.
So, okay, Roger, I think. Roger, if you could stick your cash tag in the chat, and Shashan or Cameron will grab it from you. And if you don't have the Cash App, you can go to offlinesharks.com/cash app. It's totally free. And we are going to send you some cash. Okay, so real quick. Actually, Tom, could you maybe put the Actually, I have a link for the Facebook feed, the page. Let me pull that up. So many things, you guys. So many things. So if you haven't joined, this is the link where you can join, and I will be talking about our new software training combination that we put out, Digital Profit Machine. There you go. So that is what you can see on the screen. Okay, cool. So you guys, pretty awesome. This is one that just came in yesterday, right? You can see on the screen there, $250 payment. We add the get tax to our customers that are here based in Maui. We have what's called a GE tax, which is just another way for the government to collect more money from us for living in this crazy, inexpensive state to live in that we live in. So when working with local businesses, we actually charge the GE tax to each other. So anyway, we landed this client yesterday, a $250 annual fee client, and it's not a ton of money, right? We're not obviously becoming millionaires, but this is our foot in the door with this customer, right? And it literally only took us a couple minutes to fulfill on this $250, which sounds pretty crazy, right? Almost too good to be true, but it's the God to honest 100% truth, straight up. I mean, I would not BS you. Tom and I, both of us, we do not tolerate any of that type of crap. We are straight shooters, 100%. You can see that date there on that Square invoice. And, you know, we've been seeing some results like this, right? With what we're doing, some responses. This is a incoming lead response. I got this just the other day. You can see on June 13th, this was from a gentleman named Mark, and he was asking about the pricing for our strategies and current client load. I want to point out to you right now, even in our current environment, right? He wants to know, you know, how much we cost and how many clients we have. I think because he wanted to know if we're working with any of his competitors. But are you guys landing clients in the current environment? Let me know in the comments if you are landing clients. I'd like to know. And if you are, you're probably using one of our strategies. And if you're not, you're probably not using one of our strategies. So if you're an offline shark, no fair. And so I wanted to point that out, right? Incoming lead, incoming person. This is a slide of me talking about me, where I'm from, and Tom. Tom, you think I should go over this real quick?
Yeah, I mean, there's some new people on here. You can let them know.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm just a regular guy. I'm from Maui. Tom's from Oklahoma. I used to be a mechanic. Tom used to be a restaurant manager. I don't have a college background. Tom has some. The reason that we bring that up, though, is because we were both, at least I speak for myself, and I think I speak for Tom when I say that I was fed the thought and idea, and I don't disagree with this completely, but that if you did not have a college background, you would probably peak out at somewhere around $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 per year if you were lucky. And we've blown well past that in our agencies, right? I'm not talking about internet marketing, you know, software, info product business. I'm talking about just working with local businesses, right? 100% like SEO, websites, running ads, traffic campaigns, lead generation, those types of things. We've blown well past that. And, you know, I argue with my fiance about college education and whatnot all the time because she's in the medical industry, right? She's an ICU nurse. So for that, I 100% think you need to go to college. But for being a, you know, entrepreneur, business owner, learning how to make money and do all those things, there's an argument to be made, I think. So I got started a few years back, almost 4 years ago, helping a bike company build a website. We did over 180,000 last year in my agency. That was the Square money that came in. There are checks and things, but so well over multiple six figures. If you guys search for my agency in Google, you'll find us at #1 for Maui SEO, #1 for Hawaii SEO too now. double check, depending on where you're at. I believe we're number one for Hawaii SEO right now. And so the reason I bring that up is because, who do you want to learn how to do SEO from? Who do you want to learn how to make money from working with businesses? You want to learn from a couple of guys that are actually doing it, right? That's important. You want people that are doing the things that you're doing, that are hitting the goals that you want to hit, to show you how to do these things. So long story short, we work with hundreds of local businesses. These are private chefs, activity companies, hiking tour guides, you name it, CPAs and lawyers. And later that initial year after starting my agency, both Tom and I met. It was a marvelous day in Kihei, Hawaii. And our mutual friend pretty much kind of connected us in a networking business type meetup, just a chit chat really. And so, Tom has his own agency. It's called Hands Off Media. I have my own agency, Nick Ponte Marketing, not too creative of a name, but we decided after hanging out a couple of times and kind of brainstorming together that rather than see each other as competition, we were going to work together on some projects. Tom worked a lot on his own projects. I worked a lot on my own projects too. And sometimes when the planets aligned, we would join forces and, land some clients together. And actually, we started to find out that we started landing a lot of clients together, and we would, fulfill better and play to our skill sets and work well together. So we teamed up a lot. And I think that what we quickly found out is that, and maybe some of you guys can relate to this, is a lot of the information that we found online wasn't really true. Right? That's kind of our line in the sand for what we're doing, because Tom and I, we'd find on an idea or a product online that we thought was a good idea where we'd make a bunch of money. You might see claims out there that say X amount of dollars in X amount of time, and it's probably some ludicrous price point, right? It's not even real. And so we would buy a product and we'd get through it and we'd figure out that, hey man, this isn't even a real product. And that's where Tom and I decided to make a change, right? We wanted to do something different. And that's really where Offline Sharks was started. Can anybody relate to that though? Getting in on a product and it's not even legit. It's just kind of BS. And also, did you guys know that that's how Offline Sharks was started? I'm sure a lot of you do and some of you don't, but 4 years ago, Offline Sharks was just, our original name was actually called Local SEO Shark. I don't know if you guys know that. Remember that, Tom?
Yeah. Well, before we had Offline Sharks, we had Local SEO Shark, and yeah.
We were the Local SEO Shark. It's pretty funny. And so we were recently just featured in Forbes, Young Entrepreneurs Council, Business.com, Inc. And we're pretty proud of that, right? Because we work really, really hard, and it's important for us to talk about the successes that we have, even though it might be hard sometimes. So, and I know I'm kind of just speeding through some of this, you guys. I just want to kind of get through it. Again, I didn't really have this stuff planned. I shared it with somebody else, but I'm sharing it with you because I think it's good. Am I doing all right?
Yeah. You're doing great.
All right. I might be borderline delirious with lack of sleep. So this is us.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
You sure?
No, I was gonna say one of the things we might want to do, like we probably want to. Well, I'll just let you do your thing. Just do your thing.
All right. I'll do my thing. I'll skip ahead too. So 4 months ago, Tom and I were doing our thing, right? Drinking coffee, working on our agencies. That's my home office. And, obviously things got really weird. We had a lot of customers reach out to us and ask to pause and cancel. And, coronavirus hit, things got weird. And so we had to shift our strategy. What we were doing wasn't working. And, both Tom and I were part of a pretty high level mastermind. It's, I guess you could call it an elite mastermind. One of the prerequisites is that you have to have a 7-figure info product business in the local space. So you have to be verified to be in our space and teaching people and be pretty successful at it. So the information that we have access to in that group is, you could say, pretty up there, right? This is a elite group of people that are doing some amazing things, just really industry leaders, you could say. And so when things started to hit the fan, our mastermind really just started, like we were talking about, Tom, communicating every day and sharing on some things that we were seeing. Maybe you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So yeah, well, the other thing about the mastermind too is everybody in there has to have an agent. Like they have to have a 6-figure agency as well. So you have to have a couple of things to be in there, right? And you have to be doing 6 figures or more in your agency and have your online business going well as well. So a lot of smart guys in there. And as we've talked about this before on other trainings about, Nick and I were on the phone with each other. We were on the phone with people in the mastermind was having emergency meetings, trying to figure out what to do, how to reposition. Right. And we had a couple of approaches that we hit on that were really working well. Like a lot of you are in Agency Growth Machine. That was one thing we shifted and positioned and started working on that was getting traction, and we're able to bring in clients with that. But also we really believe, and you should, I think you, in our agency anyway, and I think you should think this way too. Like, even when you have something that's good and working, like you want to make sure that you're, I don't know how to put this. Like, you want to make sure you have that thing dialed in if it's working, but when it starts to get dialed in, you also want to make sure that you're offering other things and have some different approaches as well. Cause not every prospect, not every person you're going to come in contact is going to resonate with all the things you're doing. Right. And you also want to have other services and things to offer on the back end of all that stuff. So, Agency Growth Machine started getting traction for us with Foot in the Doors and all that kind of stuff. But in the background, we were working this strategy out with David as well. And, it started catching traction. And so we were kind of doing both in the background. And yeah, I mean, like, I think the big difference between what we put together and what you see from most people is, like, again, like Nick said, all of this stuff came out of, what we're doing in the agency and what we're actually seeing with the local businesses in our area where, I think it's just more often than not, people just think, oh, this is a great idea for a product, or I tried this once, so I'll put it out there. But it's usually not things that they're implementing and doing at the current time, and with everything that's going on, times have changed. And so we were just talking about this the other day. Remember, Rick, I interviewed Mike Michalowicz for the podcast, and he was talking about, as entrepreneurs, we shouldn't call it the recession. We need to call it the reinvention, because right now you have to reinvent your business to function and operate in the environment that's going on. And, we've been fortunate to have some resources and people that we can get in touch with that have allowed us to reinvent what we're doing and find things really quickly. I mean, honestly, a lot more quickly than we thought we were going to find strategies and things that were working. And, and when we've shared them with people, we've seen people that weren't able to get clients before the shutdown and the pandemic, now all of a sudden are getting their first clients and getting 2-3 clients. So, we know these strategies work, right?
Yeah, I mean, we took everything that we were doing and some of the advice and findings of some of the other people in our mastermind. And, once we found some things that were working, Tom mentioned some of them, we really just systemized what was working. And so when we systemize everything that was working, like I said, that's exactly what we did. We took the core findings to David, who's higher. He's been in our mastermind way longer than us. Tom and I are we're the small dogs. We're the baby sharks in the group. Yeah. And so, David, he runs, those of you that do know him, runs an enterprise level software. I mean, several of them. And, it's crazy robust. It costs him over $100,000 a year to maintain. And we asked him, hey, can we add in these specific data points to your software? Will it come back with that information? Because we've identified a criteria for the businesses right now that need our help more than ever before, right? So we had to really reverse engineer what we were doing that was working to identify the perfect prospect, especially right now, and ask David, would you be able to do that for us? And that's really where Digital Profit Machine came from. The software, the step-by-step training, the done-for-you material, all curated from the trenches of working with clients every single day in our business. And I'm going to talk to you about how we're using this in conjunction with AGM in a minute, for those of you that are my AGM members, because I know you guys are kind of wondering about that. So, this is the software, everybody. And full disclosure, this is, like I said, an enterprise level software. It's not one of those run-of-the-mill things that will disappear in a few weeks. I mean, this is built on a framework that's been around for a while, okay? But it's different because it's built on a piece of technology that's been around for a while, but these data points that we've identified to find this ideal prospect has never been released before. And actually, this slide here shows you all of the data points that I'm talking about, and I can't reveal it to you right now. I mean, we're saving it for the members that join inside the members area, because like I said, it's really easy to see once we point it out to you. So let me talk about this a little bit though, because who here does any sort of email prospecting? Give me a I do, or in the chat box if you're into email prospecting, because right now we're doing a lot of email prospecting. I mean, email prospecting, even cold outreach, it's not particularly my favorite thing to do, but we're doing it now because of how receptive everybody is, and how powerful it is right now. You have to do it right. You have to do it in a way that's different. Richard Cronin, our Kiwi friend, he says lots and lots. I know you do. Richard, you're probably already a member of Digital Profit Machine, but you're going to love this. And I know a lot of you do. Kevin says have not had the tools. So the thing about email prospecting that I can say 100% hands down, that this tool is probably the best tool that I've ever used for pulling accurate local businesses and their best email address. Best tool you have ever come across. Like, I would never, that's a strong claim, right? And I've used a lot of tools, but I just 100% feel that way. So, and that's after finding thousands and thousands and thousands of email addresses and reaching out to them and using them to connect with the perfect customers in our business. So, obviously you can see from the screenshot I'm showing you right now, you have all the general standard stuff, the company name, the address, the phone number, those types of things. But you also have this email section here, which, let me explain why these emails are so good. I mean, we're getting almost 50 to 60% of these emails in every time that we pull and request them. And it's because we have access. Well, David has access, but I like to say we, because now it's a little cooler for us, right? But we have access to our own proprietary algorithm, right? That's this algorithm that we created for this software. It's specifically for this software. It's never been released before. It's not in Lead Kahuna. It's specifically for this one. And what it does is it has 100 different algorithms and data points put together. And when it pulls an email address, it cross-references that email address to a different database, and then to another database, and then to another database. So you know that the email you're getting is accurate. It's not just some dead email, because there's nothing worse when you're doing email outreach and prospecting than getting the wrong email, right? Especially getting a wrong email that will go to spam, because that will sometimes burn you as the sender if you're sending to a lot of spammy addresses. So, there are a lot of things that are going into this tool that I'm probably not going to cover on this call, but the email finding, the contact information, the list building is second to none. And so, is everybody with me thus far, by the way?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I see a couple of questions. So one is, let me see, where did she go? So Mike, no, it's not becoming a part of AGM. This is just an additional tool that we've been using along with AGM to build bigger lists and more robust lists, and even, you know, bigger lists of businesses that we can start reaching out to. So it's, you know, it's not going to be a part of AGM. It's just, you know, it's just a tool that we use in conjunction with.
So let me speak to that a little bit. Okay. For AGM users, AGM members, this tool is, like I said, an enterprise level tool. So if you are an AGM member, what you can easily do here is pull back a huge list of leads. I'm regularly doing keyword location and pulling back 100, 200, 300. I have a testimonial here from somebody that, I mean, look at this. Let me pull this up for you. 719 leads. That's from one pull. You can take that list and you can import it into your site. So whether or not you guys use, which is why Tom and I are so excited about this digital profit machine, because obviously the services, the fulfillment, the strategy, the prospecting, everything that we've added in there and David has added there, you guys are going to find so much value in that. We could easily and are going to charge anywhere from, I mean, this course is easily worth $500. And we're saying we're going to raise the price to $200, but I think that still is really undercutting it with the amount of value, plus the software, plus the done for you material. It's crazy. Now,
the templates and the email sequence, like, I mean, there's templates and email sequences and
right,
all kinds of resource document in the front end training. Like you don't have to pay any extra. Like they're already included in the front end training, so that you have everything you need to implement what we're showing.
Right. So whether you guys pick up this course right now, it's on a special launch pricing for 4 days. Today is the most inexpensive price you can get it. Whether you pick it up for the training or the software or both, it is a crazy deal. If you pick it up just for the tech, you are going to level up your prospecting game 100%, hands down. You have guys like Dorn, who I just saw his comment. Dorn's already at 100K, right? He's already making 6 figures. So you could argue that he's doing good prospecting. He just did a search, 200 in Indianapolis, all types. So if people that are already having a lot of success are leveling up their game with this tool, what do you think that that's going to do for you? You can use this tool anywhere. It's not just US specific. There are the ability to add proxies if you want. You don't need to. I don't. So you can switch and swap out IP addresses. There's built-in email verify in the back office. So if you think for some reason those email addresses are not correct, you can set up email verify, and there's 2 different versions that will check the email addresses directly in the software. And they are not like, I don't think you need it. I've literally used thousands of them. And so I'm just trying to rattle off some of these questions here, but
here, let me get a couple of minutes, because I can see some that are coming in while you were talking. Did you finish your thought there?
There was one final one where somebody was asking, are these data points gathered only on the ideal service? So yes and no. Yes, for the ideal service, of course, but these data points are, I mean, to be able to pull volume and scale for all these businesses, you can use them for so many other things. I will drop a hint. I mean, we're not fulfilling just one type of service. We teach you a couple of services that you can fulfill, and they are different types of services. So you could easily find SEO prospects for this. You could easily find website prospects for this. You could easily find reputation. I mean, there's so many things that you can do with this tool.
Yeah. Well, and a couple of questions I wanted to address here too was, so Jacqueline, so she asked about the import function work with AGM. So the AGM has an import functionality now. So this software exports things as a CSV, right, Nick?
Yeah. So what you would do is you'd create your list. You'd save the list as a CSV, and you would just need to organize the list in the format for AGM. So if you were to go into AGM right now, Jacqueline, and go to the listings section and just hit CSV export, you would basically have the organization structure of all your listings set up. So what you would do is go ahead and export a list from this tool and then just add the businesses, copy all the address, copy all the phone numbers, and put them in the spreadsheet, and then re-upload them.
Yeah, I feel like I want to sneeze. Oh, sorry. Ooh, I thought I was going to sneeze there, and I couldn't stop it. I was like, whoa, okay. There were a couple of other things. So, okay, so Pete was asking about any upgrades, things like that. So let me just address that real quick, Pete. So, with all the products that we put together with, in Offline Sharks, Nick and I work very hard to make sure that whatever the main thing is that you're purchasing is a complete package, that you don't need anything else for it to be effective. Okay. So I first off want to say, like, if you don't need to take any of the upgrades besides the front, like the front end package will do what you want it to do. You have, all the tools in there you need to make it work. But we do put together we call them accelerator sales essential packages, stuff like that. Right. And so that's the first upgrade for this. And there's a couple of things that are included in that. There's a bunch of additional sales and marketing materials that you get. So there's like blog posts, lead magnets. There's more email sequences, basically things to just help you accelerate what you're trying to do and get traction, right? There also is, when you pick up the upgrade, you do unlock some additional cities inside the software. So, that's one thing that comes with the second upgrade. And then also we put in, because of everything that's going on, some of you may remember this, or maybe you might have missed it or be new to Offline Sharks, but a little while back, before we ever even knew there was going to be a pandemic or anything like that, we had this course called Remote Client System, and it was all a method of prospecting remotely from your own house or office without ever having to go meet clients face to face. And it was a stellar method to prospect then. It's even more stellar now that you can't really go anywhere to prospect. So we did include Remote Client System in the upgrade as well, right? So you get all that stuff in the first upgrade, and I think that upgrade is like $37. And then the other thing that Nick and I implement in our agencies is, obviously when things are, when the economy is down, right? Like, and you're bringing a client in, you want to be able to, get the most out of every client, right? And I don't mean that in like I don't want that to sound like an opportunistic thing. Like, when I say that, I mean, we're obviously bringing value to the client first and foremost, right? So we want to be able to offer them more value, but in the process of that, get our fees up. So one of the techniques that Nick and I have used ever since we started our agencies is what we call service stacking, where, we may bring a client in for a website design, but in the process of doing that project, we will talk to them about SEO and possibly get them to sign up for an SEO package, or we'll talk to them about social media. And so we like to stack services that way. That way, instead of having to go out all the time and find new clients, which can be very hard and expensive, right? We're able to just have different services to offer to the clients we already have. And social media is a big one that we've been getting a lot of traction with right now during what's going on. So we do have a second upgrade, which is a course we put out called Social Sumo, which shows how we actually do social media management. And so if you don't, if you already have other services you offer, just do those, right? Like, use those services. But if you don't, if you need, if you want something that you can charge recurring for, that you can add on and get your fees up for what we're teaching in Digital Profit Machine, then Social Sumo is a great thing for that. And I think the last thing is we whenever we do a launch, we like to open up the Shark Alliance, our monthly membership. So I think there's a $1 trial for the Shark Alliance, and that's the last thing on there.
Yep. So what do you guys think so far? You guys have any questions? I can talk a little bit more about, some of the tech, some of what's going on. I mean, I know somebody asked again that was late to the party, how is this different from Lead Kahuna? So this is how it's different from Lead Kahuna. This is a totally new algorithm built on the Lead Kahuna technology. So you can't find this algorithm, this collection of data points that is specific to our client getting strategy that you'll find in Digital Profit Machine. You can't find that data in Lead Kahuna. So
yeah, Lead Kahuna doesn't pull this back. You don't even have the option, right?
Right.
Somebody
and
asked,
Lead Kahuna does a whole bunch of other stuff that this one doesn't do, but it's the technology in terms of like database, APIs, getting information, how robust it is. That's what you have access to with this tech. So if you are a Lead Kahuna member and you want to get in on this new strategy and have access to it, and you love Lead Kahuna, you're going to love this tool because you know how awesome it is, especially now that you have basically unlocked functionality on this new proprietary strategy and algorithm that we're using to get clients right now in this current environment.
Yeah, a couple things, Clayton. It comes with one, which is all we use in our agency. Like we don't have an agency where we target people all over. Like we don't target a bunch of different, like we focus on our local area and bringing in clients that way. So that's all we use, but you do have the option if you want to do more cities, like you can, with the upgrade, you can unlock 3 more, which is 4 total. But I would say if you're not already doing 6 figures or more and you're just from the opportunities in your local area, then you don't need that. I mean, I think you'd just be kind of overwhelming yourself. Kristen said, how would you price if you were using Lead Kahuna plus the new product? Kristen, I'm not sure what you mean there. I mean, I know the Lead Kahuna tool is like $300, right?
Yeah, it's a different tool. It does different things. It has different data points. It's more robust.
And all that stuff. Yep. This still gives you a lot of information, though.
Oh yeah, no, I mean you guys, you cannot go wrong for $30. Like you would be, I hate to say it, I'm just be straight. You'd be stupid not to buy this software if you're looking to make money building a local digital marketing agency. Seriously. It's crazy how good it is. I wouldn't
He doesn't even know what to say. James said he got 2 social media clients last week. I'm so stoked to dive into your system. Way to go, James. That's awesome. Hey, Tammy says, is this the same as the software in the agency to find leads? No, Tammy. No, like Agency Growth Machine, that software is built into the website and it pulls in the listings, right? This is totally different.
Look, Noah invited me to go to Kauai to go on like a fishing trip with him. It's funny because I couldn't go because I'm doing a launch, but you're over there and you're on the live. So who's working?
I saw somebody put in the comments earlier that I count fish as clients, so I've caught 3 today. It said I count fish as clients, so I've gotten 3 new ones today. And it would have been Noah. Let's see. Oh, Carrie, man, sorry to hear about Carrie said that her husband lost work in the printing industry due to COVID-19. And, so she's working to get another income stream going, which, Carrie, that's awesome. I mean, we really believe in this type of service as a way to, build a business and generate income. And so, I mean, it does take work, right? Like it takes effort and work, but it's definitely worth it. But I have a friend here on Maui who had one of the biggest visitor guide magazines in Hawaii. They were printing 60,000 magazines a month just on Maui. That was just Maui. And COVID-19, he about a week and a half ago called me up and said, man, I'm closing the doors. I can't do it. I can't stay open anymore. Totally wiped out his business. because, now the hotels, they don't, like, his distribution was in the hotel rooms, at the airport, on the racks all around the island. And their hotels don't want the magazines in the rooms because they can't disinfect them. The airport doesn't want them at the airport because they can't disinfect them. So it pretty much just put a squash on that business. So really, really crazy.
And they're not the only ones. I mean, I look at this. I literally just right now, I'm showing you the timestamp on this. This just came into my email. Hold on one second. Have to cover up some sensitive information here.
Hey, Lynn, while Nick is doing that, I see your question. And yeah, the AGM doesn't, I know that we're working on something with emails, Nick, but AGM isn't a plate. Like, you wouldn't want to import emails into AGM.
No, but you wouldn't want to. Here's what you would do. You wouldn't import the emails. You would import the name, the address, and the phone number, and the website maybe. And then you would reach out via email and let them know that they have a listing on your site. It's already live because you have their email address.
Yeah. Well, Lynn was saying she didn't see of importing AGM or out of AGM the emails. And that's because that function, like AGM never, the tool, the automated, I couldn't think of the name, the automated lead importer in AGM, it never got their email anyway. Like, if you add listings to your AGM site and then export them, you don't have the email addresses. Like, that was never part of that tool.
So look at this, you guys. 4 minutes ago, I got an email that says, unfortunately, due to COVID, we need to put our payment on pause again. Currently, we are not operating and not gaining any revenue. Once again, once operations begin again, we would like to continue service. This is a $1,000 SEO client, $1,000 per month. I just lost that like 4 minutes ago. Am I scared? No. Why am I not scared? Because I'm doing other things to bring in customers right now. I have a lifeline, a pipeline of highly qualified prospects and leads that are coming into my business every day with the strategy that we are sharing with all of you for the next 4 days at an insanely underpriced. It's underpriced. It's underpriced. It's simple. And so, I mean, this is the reality for a lot of us, right? We got to do something different. We're doing something different. The people that are canceling, they're in an industry, they're in the tourist industry. Like, I can't do anything for them, right? Like, they're not going to make any money until tourists come back. But what I can tell you is there are other sectors of business that are going hard. They're chugging along. They're getting customers. They're catering to the local economy. And those are the ones we're going after. We're going after the local businesses in our area. So you need to do something different. And what we're doing is different. And in our strategy is we're teaching you how to do something different right now for the current environment. So somebody asked about the access, the level of access. So for 1 year, you will get unrestricted access for less than $30 in your location. If you want to unlock 3 more additional locations, you can purchase that in the upgrade for another, how much, Tom?
It's like $37, I think.
$37. But think about this. You can pull a list of 700 leads, 1,000, I mean, unrestricted searches for your location. So as many niches or anything that you want to go after, you can go after. It's just down to your city or your location. You just pick where you want. And then if you want more, then just pick up the OTO. You don't need it. I mean, there are millions of businesses in your area, and all you need to do is contact a few of them. You don't need the upgrade, but if you want it, get it. I mean, and in a year from now, 1 year from now, you're going to get billed for the next year, and that will be $48. So if you buy this software now and you don't get a client in a year, then it's your fault and you should cancel. But you probably will get a client, so I'll see you in a year. Right?
Well, and the reason that, I mean, and look, guys, the reason that we do that is because I don't know if any of you have ever developed software. Like Nick and I have our own softwares we do, and oh my gosh, it's like the support, the constant updates, like the way things change, and you have to constantly make it better. It's just, it really is impossible to keep, like, anyone who's, like, I see this happen all the time. People sell a software and they don't have something like that in place where, and we've kept it really, really small, right? I mean, it's only $49 and that comes like an entire year later. It's not like a monthly thing or anything like that. But I see it all the time where people put out these softwares and they don't realize that's what's going to happen. And so what happens to you, the end user, is they stop updating. The software gets outdated. It doesn't work anymore because it takes a lot of resources to keep a software up to date and running smoothly day in and day out. And so,
over $100,000 per year for this particular software. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I had to interject.
No. It's fine. I mean, I just want to point out, like, it's not like we're not just, and that, that fee that you get charged, it's not going into our pockets, right? Like, I mean, it's, like it's going into keeping the resource healthy for you. Because, we want it to be there. We want you to be able to use it. And we want it to be good. Right. I don't know how, I mean, it was used to be really frustrating to me. Like, I'd buy a product or software and then I would get distracted for 8 months and I would go back because I think, oh, I got this thing, I'm going to use it. And I'd go back and like the page is gone. Like it just redirects to a, do you want to buy this domain name?
Yeah. Domain somewhere.
You're just like, oh, are you kidding me? Like, yeah. So yeah, we don't operate that way.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. So, Doug said the software couldn't be easier. You could have 3 fields to enter in city. Yeah. So didn't consider Nick Maverick. So would you consider Nick Maverick and Tom Goose? His Top Gun reference. We argue about Pinky and the Brain. Who's Pinky and who's the Brain?
Who do you guys think is Pinky and the Brain?
We go back and forth.
I'll be Pinky. I always liked Pinky. I'm fine with that.
What do you want to do today, Nick? Same thing we do every day, Tom. Try to take
we all know Pinky's the real brain.
Yeah. Yep. Oh my goodness. Cool. Awesome. Well, listen, guys, I know we went a little over today, but we're kind of a little kooky because of the no sleep and all the action that's going on, but we appreciate you hanging out with us on the live. If you have any, like, look, if you go to the page and you have any questions, if you look down in the right-hand corner, there's a link where you can live chat with somebody from our team. If you have any questions about anything, they'll do their best to help you out. Jeff said, "Narf."
Narf.
That's great. Yeah. What was the other thing they always said, Nick? It was like, he'd always go, Pinky, are you thinking what I'm thinking? And they always had some comment back and forth, right?
That's exactly what he would say. Yeah.
He would go, I think so, Brian, but how are you fit an elephant in a tutu? Wouldn't he do it like that?
That was a pretty good impression.
Oh, well, I really liked that show. I mean, I have that poster in my office. I'm staring at it right now. It says, keep calm and try to take over the world. And it's got Pinky and the Brain on it. Yeah. So anyway, so if you go to that page and you have questions, like there's a live chat there. Our team is pretty much manning that thing around the clock. If you have, you get into the members or you have any issues, there's a support link in there as well. Feel free to reach out to us. And yeah. Oh, are you pondering? Pinky, are you pondering what I'm pondering? Jeff corrected me. That's right. Are you pondering what I'm pondering? Yeah. So look, we're super excited about this. I think the thing that makes us the most excited is, again, this is something that's working right now, that's going to continue to work as things continue to open up. Like, this isn't going anywhere. And one thing we didn't even talk about is, like, when you guys get in there and see the little service that you can charge up to $300 for recurring every month, you're going to be like, why didn't I think of that? Like, it's one of those things that almost no one thinks of charging for, but the minute you hear it, you'll go, oh yeah, a business would pay for that for sure. Because they have no idea. Like, not only do they not know how to do what you're going to do for them, but they don't even want to deal with it. Like, they're like, oh, you mean you'll just do it for me? And it's only this? Like, yeah. So you guys will love that. So cool. Well, awesome, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. Again, our member of the week, John, congratulations.
Congrats, John.
For you. And congratulations to any winners on the Cash App. And yeah, we will see you guys. For you Shark Alliance members, we'll see you Monday, 3 p.m. That's our weekly Shark Alliance coaching call. So be there for that. And for everybody else, we'll see you next Friday right here on the Marketing Live Jam session, and see you inside the Facebook group. So aloha, everybody. Stay safe.
See you, everybody.